In this video, we will be trying the best dessert places in the UK. Now, because of my expert planning, we have arrived 1 hour early at the first stop. However, that is fine by me because this place is actually closed because of hygiene ratings. I have had a little look online and we will be going to Caspers instead. However, little dessert shop, I'm very disappointed. This video is plagued with issues because the card reader didn't work, so I assume it's on order. However, we have not yet paid for it, so she said she was going to send someone over, but I think it came to £19.30, which is quite steep for one waffle and one milkshake, so it's got to be very impressive to blow me away for this amount of money. Wow. Presentation, this could not look much better. Milkshake, very, very basic cup. They've skimmed out a little bit on that. However, look at the amount of ice cream on this. Okay, I will not be wasting any time. Let's get straight into this whilst it's, I assume, hot. I don't know how to describe this. It tastes really nice, but also it tastes like a frisbee. An edible frisbee, if that makes any sense. Look, as just like general texture, it's like chewing in the best way possible, and the only way it can possibly sound good, eating cardboard. Now, the milkshake. This was £7.95. So far, the presentation is very much like the ordinary milkshakes that I get in Bristol on takeaways, cheap takeaways. So hopefully, what's inside makes a difference. I quite like milkshakes quite thick as opposed to running. This came out of the straw very quickly on the first suck, which I don't like things in my mouth on the first suck. Just gotta give it some time to develop. However, this came straight out. So this is like an easy girl. If you like an easy girl, this is your girl. This was Caspers. This is my first experience at Caspers, in fact. And it's a little bit disappointing for the road trip that it took to get here. However, it's not too bad. It's edible and I will be finishing this even if it does take me a little while. I've got an hour's worth of walking, only 35 minutes left. And it will be a little bit of a chore to finish this, I must admit. Come to the original bill, £19.90. Have a look at that again. That is absolutely insane. I would pay happily maybe about £4, £5 for the shake. It costs £7.95. And then the waffle, I'd happily pay about £6.50 at push £7 on a takeaway, and this came to £11.95. So it's absolutely ridiculous. So first of all, Caspers, I would give a 4 out of 10.
We are at Panunzio's kitchen in Clifton. Now, I'm not sure if I've mispronounced that, probably have. Now, we have got to be very quick with this place because it's already started to melt. We have found a very dodgy alleyway. I have got here in my hands the Monte Bianco, which is an award winner ice cream. And then also in my girlfriend's hand, dripping all over her, is a salted caramel ice cream. Now, again, it's still the hottest day of the year. The new hottest day of the year, in my book anyway. I haven't even tried the weather. So, let's get this done and dusted before we turn a different shade of white. It's really nice. It tastes like maybe a raspberry or strawberry, which I'm not actually too keen on. However, in this, it is really nice. It seems to be a little bit crushed. So yes, this is absolutely lovely. So let's move over to the salted caramel, which, as you can see, has a bit more roundness to it. Obviously, with the raspberry, it's kind of crushed already, so it kind of bleeds into the ice cream, whereas this, you still got the balls. You may have some salted caramel taste as well, but it's got some balls as well. Let's try it. Controversially, this is more up my street. However, it's just controversial, but what is controversial is I actually prefer the award-winning Monte Bianco. But yeah, this is absolutely lovely. £4.45 per cone for 1 scoop of ice cream, which is again pretty good. I would give this place an 8 out of 10. This time we have come to a place called Fluffy Fluffy on Park Street in Bristol, which is a very, very popular road. In fact, just down the road is a place called Swindon, which is one of my favorite dessert places. It's a very much solid 7 out of 10 place every single time I go. We've got the Hong Kong French toast. I've had French toast once before on a breakfast and it was very nice. That was about 6 months ago and I said I would get it again, which I haven't done. So, Hong Kong French toast. That's an erotic sound. And I got some on my shirt. Okay, so obviously I've only got one hand, so I'm just going to be using the fork and hope for the best. Let's dig into this. It's nice, it's fluffy. It's actually surprisingly light, which you wouldn't expect with how, densely packed it is. Like it's a whole lot of that inside. However, it is as fluffy as it looks. It's really nummy. Only downside, this, and you probably need at least 4 people to comfortably finish this. The top, the glaze of the caramel or whatever it is, seared on the top, it's not as crispy as it may seem. However, when you dig into it, it doesn't disintegrate like something soft glazed would. So it's not crispy, not crunchy. However, it sticks, it's lovely. I will say as well, the maple syrup is kind of dispersing now, it's kind of fading away in the bits I've eaten. And I do fear it's going to need this entire pot for me to finish it because it is starting to get a little bit dry now that this is running out on it. So, all in all, I think this is absolutely lovely and I would give it a good score. It's a very solid and respectable 7 out of 10. And I will be having some more. Perfect dessert after Pizza Rover. I will say that I know Pizza Rover, I believe, do desserts. However, there's not a big selection. If they do, I'm not sure if they do actually. So this is right next door. So if you ever find yourself a Pizza Rover in Bristol, have a great pizza, have a really good dessert afterwards. We are here at Sweet Little Things in Bath, and I've got a very special guest with me today. Tommy Burns, welcome back to the channel.
Thank you.
Welcome. So we're here in a very beautiful spot in the heart of Bath, and we've got one of the most striking places that we've been to so far. We've got 3 loaded New York cookies and we've got 3 shoe buns between us all as well. So for the cookies, we have got a red velvet cookie, we have got a Kinder cookie, and we've got a dark chocolate and Biscoff.
So I start eating.
I propose a shoe bun, a strawberry, go for it.
Is there a method to eating these or do you just...
I'd say chomp more on the cream. Go cream first.
Like that?
Cream first, finish second.
Yeah.
Tommy told me in the car when I was driving us on the way here, when I was jumping red lights, that he's never had a shoe bun before, so this is a very interesting test to see.
Very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not what I thought of when you said shoe, but...
What are you thinking, Tommy?
Very nice. Bit weird having it for breakfast, but it's nice.
It's very, very dense and thick there.
Wow.
This came to, I believe, £4, so...
Probably.
Yeah.
There it is.
New York cookies.
That's the... Do I bite it or do I pull it off?
The most striking is definitely the size. It's the difficult way to eat it.
It's not always the size, it's what you do with it, but with this it's the size.
It's definitely the size, yeah. Because what else would you do with a cookie? I never really have red velvet. Not my favourite cake.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Perfect. Tommy's on the verge of throwing up because he's having this for breakfast. He's had a shoe bun and he's had 2 cookies. Right, I'll give it a go. Let me say something really stupid. What is that? Is that like white chocolate? Okay.
Yeah.
For a second I thought it could be like
or...
pecans or something like that. You know, like those big, thin nuts. This isn't as strong as a cake, like a shop bought red velvet cake. But no, that is really nice. I do prefer it actually to
the Biscoff, which is controversial since I really like Biscoff. So if I were to rank it, I would say the Kinder, the Red Velvet, and then the Biscoff. So I think it's going to be a very strong end to the video. I'm going to give this place an 8 out of 10, which puts it on par with the place on Calm Hill in Bristol that we went to, the ice cream place, which means there isn't actually a number 1 position on this video, because I think both are on par with each other, but for different reasons, because this is very different to an ice cream place. You do get a bit of ice cream in the shoe buttons. However, the other place was so good, it'd be kind of unfair to, and this place is so good, it'd be unfair to like put one above the other because they're so different, they're worlds apart. But yeah, this has been trying the best dessert places in the southwest, and Caspers, which was a bit shit, I must admit. Hope you really enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe and comment where you think we should go next. Take care.